Hey. Hey there. Today I'm going to talk to you a little about nail care. Mainly geared towards the singer-songwriter, gigging musician. Someone in my case that plays both electric guitar, acoustic guitar in a combo, and does solo gigs, solo acoustic shows, and does a lot of finger picking and finger style type guitar. So just a quick vid on caring for the left and the right hand and your nails. And hope you enjoy it. There they are, the hands. Very important for us guitar playing musicians. Let's talk about the left hand first. That's this guy. Fingernails. I fret the strings with my left hand, strum and pick with my right. So the important thing with my left hand is to keep these guys short. If you get a look-see, you can see that these are, to me, these are long. When the fingernail is too long, you go to fret some strings and whatnot, and the fingernail can actually get caught up on the frets. It kind of gives you that space between the meat of your finger and the fingerboard itself. It actually lifts your finger up a little and can make it slide along the fretboard a little too much, and that really bugs the heck out of me when I'm playing. So we're going to trim these guys real quick. I won't do all of them because I don't know if you want to sit through me clipping my fingernails, or toenails for that matter. So you don't want to clip them too short. If they're too short, you're going to have some pain in the corners and whatnot. But me personally, again, I'd rather have them too short than too long. So this guy is clipped, the index finger. You can get a good look. It's short now. I mean, we can see meat of the finger and my calluses here sticking out past the fingernail itself. So when the fretboard is here, we've got nothing but meat hitting that guy right there. I hope you can see this okay on the camera. I'm kind of doing this as I go along here. So that's what we want to do with all fingers. So give me a sec, I'm going to trim the rest of these guys up. Now if we can get a good look, there's 4 fingers that are trimmed real nice. Now, one other thing that you can do once your fingernails are trimmed is file them off. This is a handy dandy Beauty 360. Any type of nail file. File these guys so that they're smooth and you don't have any jagged edges that are going to make you slip while you're playing your guitar. Alrighty, so that's the left hand. We'll talk more in a bit about the left hand, but that's what we do with the fingernails on the left hand. Keep them trim. This is something that I do before a gig, like 2 or 3 days before a gig. I'll trim my left hand fingers every gig pretty much. If I go play a gig and the fingernails are long, it bugs the heck out of me. There's a couple things that I keep in my guitar case. Nail clippers. This is in each guitar case. If I'm bringing 2 or 3 guitar cases, guitars to a gig, I keep nail clippers. These are Revlons, by the way. I don't even think they make these too much anymore, but these are good guys. Some kind of nail file in the guitar case also. That's 2 things that I definitely do keep. Let's talk about the right hand next. Now there's my right hand. You can see some of these nails are pretty darn long here. I've let these guys go a little too much, but we can trim them down. This thumbnail, for instance, look, you can see if I can get that on the camera real good, that is one big thumbnail. Now, I do finger picking if I play acoustic guitar and even electric guitar. So I do a lot of finger picking, finger style guitar. So I keep these guys long all the time. Again, 2-3 days before a gig, I'll trim them down a little, but they have to be kind of a certain length for me to be comfortable while I'm playing. And I've kept these, mainly these 3 fingers and the thumb, pinky's long now, but I've kept these guys long since I took guitar lessons, classical guitar lessons at the House of Guitar up in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, when I was 18 years old. So I've kept these guys long so I can anytime pick up a guitar and finger pick, do fingerstyle stuff comfortably. Some guitar players, they keep these guys all short, just like their left hand. They keep these guys short so that they can do, you know, play the guitar, chicken picking or whatever they do comfortably by using the skin, even calluses on their right hand and whatnot. So thumbnail, for instance. Oh, and one thing I will point out with the thumbnail, in the wintertime, sometimes these nails get brittle, they get cracked up, especially for, you know, in the wintertime when it's cold and you're not taking care of these guys. Even when you're, excuse me, when you're an older gent like myself, the nails get brittle and they crack. And that's why I've got dental floss right here. This nail, for instance, it has a crack in it right now, and dental floss is one of the evil things to watch out for. Dental floss can destroy your fingernails if you're not careful. Yeah, at nighttime when you're brushing your teeth and you're flossing, if you grab some of this dental floss and you've got a crack in your fingernail and you're flossing your teeth, let's see, I know I've got one here. You can see that dental floss can crack your nail even more. That's a crack in my thumbnail, and the dental floss can rip that sucker and make a nice deep crack in your thumbnail or one of your other nails. So watch out for the dental floss. Bet you won't hear that anywhere else. Dental floss in your fingernails, huh? So we trim this guy down like this. Oh yeah, we'll get past that crack. And I like to have the nails in a certain shape on my right hand. You get used to where the thumb, or where each nail, I should say, touches the strings. So you got to watch out for those areas. And they're the areas that you want to take care of and not trim too much. Good news is that nail can always grow back, but if you trim it too short for a gig, it can mean some problems in your picking. So there's, my thumb is a nice length right now, and I'm gonna do the other nails real quick. Give me a sec. Alrighty, so there we've got the right hand all trimmed up, looking nice. Okay, she's ready to pick. Now, what if one of these guys gets cracked? What if you know, you cut one too short? Well, I remember playing a gig at a restaurant in the Charlotte area here in North Carolina, right up the road in North Carolina, and I busted this thumbnail during the first set. I had people sitting right in front of me eating their dinner. I broke my thumbnail real good. Well, one thing to have on hand in my survival kit is these stick-on nails, which look like this. And that big guy right there, I just popped it on my thumb in between the first and second set and trimmed it down to where I liked it, and it got me through so I could finger pick through the second and third set, and that was a 4-hour long show. So the fingernails were needed. Now say, you know, you want to take care of these hands before a gig, okay? You don't want an alligator, especially an alligator with dental floss. You don't want an alligator to come in and bite your hand or anything. Got to take care of these. That includes, you know, lifting heavy equipment, getting a fret finger like this index finger pinched, you know, on a mixer, or opening up an anvil case, or getting a microphone slammed on, anything. You got to take care of these guys before a gig, okay? Now, in addition to stick-on nails, this is fiberglass nail wrap, if you can see that okay. And James Taylor has a good video on how to use this fiberglass nail wrap. That's where I actually saw how to use this, and I've been using it for acoustic solo shows. If I can do this quickly, grab your Frankenstein scissors, trim off a piece big enough for a fingernail. We'll use the thumbnail in this case. And I usually trim it into the shape of, kind of the shape of your nail, into a V sort of pattern. Again, you can watch James Taylor's video on this if you're interested in this stuff. This is basically just fiberglass mesh with a sticky back on it. So I've separated the mesh from the paper and take the shape, line it up with your thumbnail in this case, and press it over. Now you're saying to yourself, well, that looks kind of goofy. Well, the next step, usually how I do this, is I get a nail hardener. This is Sally Hansen Diamond Strength Hardener. It's a nail hardener, and we dump. I'll open this up real quick, and we put this over the nail like so, and that gets the fiberglass, fills in all those nooks and crannies in the mesh, and makes it adhere to your thumbnail. Now I do this because my nails get pretty ripped up after a gig, so I'll do this before a gig, especially if I've got a number of gigs in a row. And this is a little wet right now, so we're going to let this dry just for a sec and be right back. All right, so the nail hardener has hardened, and we take our trusty Revlon fingernail clips and we basically just cut around the outside edge. And again, James Taylor has a really in-depth video on this. I don't want to take up too much time. And there's your junk stuff you can get rid of, and you're left with your fingernail, which is covered in a nail hardener fiberglass mesh. And you can take your nail hardener again and put another top coat on this, 2 or 3 coats. And what that does is it makes your fingernail hard as a rock. I mean, you can rub this thing on the sidewalk and it'll last a lot longer than if it was just your plain old fingernail. Much less chance of cracking, and you still keep that touch of the strings onto your thumb that I like to have. I don't like using metal or plastic finger picks or thumb picks. It just takes away the natural feel of playing guitar, and you get better sound to me by plucking the strings with a fingernail and skin rather than straight thumb picks, and especially when you're doing fingerstyle or finger picking type music. Some folks, they like to take vitamins. Like this is an example of vitamins and whatnot. This is collagen. It's like a powder, and that's supposed to be good for your fingernails and other things. Just taking vitamins and taking care of yourself gives your fingernails better appearance and better life and longevity and toughness. And by the way, I had a gig, this is last year before the COVID crisis, but I had a gig, I did all of my fingernails with the fiberglass. They were all shiny. You can see it makes your fingernails look a little different from a natural fingernail. And I had a TSA pre-check appointment, and I needed to get fingerprinted for airline travel. And I remember sticking my right hand up on the counter to get fingerprinted, and the fellow that was doing the fingerprinting, he gave a second look to my hand because he could see that these guys were shiny and bright, but worked out for the gig, so everything's cool. I've got this in my survival kit too. This is liquid bandage. It's good to keep some first aid stuff, Band-Aids, Some people use super glue even to patch holes and whatnot in their fingers. Whatever helps you get through the gig. I don't recall using this stuff before, but I've got it just in case. So, left hand, right hand. Your fretting hand, keep the fingernails short, not too long. Keep them smooth with a file. Take care of your calluses. Some people before gigs, they don't like to even get showers or jump in a pool. I'll take a shower. I'll swim all day in the ocean and go play a gig. My calluses are fine. I don't worry about if the fingers hurt. They hurt, and you just keep on trucking. Water can sometimes make the right hand nails a little soft, but I don't have a problem with it. So getting wet before a show, not a big deal for me. For some people it is. Left hand, keep the nails good, not too short but short. Keep them filed, take care of the calluses. Right hand for finger picking. You can use fake nails. You can to make your nails stronger and thicker. This fiberglass mesh that we just talked about. Keep them trimmed. Keep them smooth. If there's a rough edge, it'll catch on something. Don't mess up or hurt your hands before a show. Be careful with lifting things and amplifiers and whatnot. Don't smush your fingers. And like I said before, watch out for alligators. You don't want to get bitten by an alligator. And thanks for listening in. Please leave some comments, and make sure to subscribe to the Mr. Vague YouTube channel.